Hello, I am Charlie Cunningham. I'm a music education major at Missouri Western State University, and today I'll be going through what text painting is using Fanny Mendelssohn Hensel's Nachtwander as a reference. Uh, this should be easy to digest for all people of all musical backgrounds, whether you just started, you have a very minor interest in music, to the guys that have been studying this for their entire lives. Um, in the description, there will be a link to the video that I'll be using for reference, so I would strongly recommend you listen to that first before you do anything else. So I'll go ahead and give you a second to do that. Alright, moving on. There is also a translation of the lyrics to the piece. Since the piece is in German, it might be harder to understand for those who are not well versed in the German language. So, getting on with that, the first example of text painting starts at 53 seconds into the video and then ends at 1 minute and 1 second in. The text here is "The Nightingale Wakes Up." The nightingale is represented in the piece by light, right hand chirpy, floaty melody notes. It feels like it should be a bird song. It's very light, very cheery. And I was going to do this whole bit where I pull up my violin and play what a nightingale song should sound like in real life, but I feel like that wouldn't do it justice either. What it's really more like is, imagine you're breaking into a car and also being attacked by a sprinkler system. It would sound something like this. So very different from how Hensel represents it in her piece. Moving on, the second example of text painting is 1 minute and 10 seconds in to 1 minute and 25 seconds. The text here is "Everything is gray and silent." At this point in the piece, the melody returns to a major key from a minor key, and also brings back the melody from the beginning of the piece, giving off a very calm, cool, relaxing vibe. So say the minor key is something like this, a little bit spooky, kind of scary, and gray and silent comes to this, or maybe one of these. So spooky, scary orange to calm, relaxing blue, or the closest I could get to gray. Maybe this would be the closest. Spooky, calm, relaxing, wet, and that's not supposed to happen. Minor, major. All right, I think you got the gist. The third example of text painting is it's a four-parter, so it's kind of cheating, but it all fits. It starts at 1 minute and 35 seconds into the video and ends at 2 minutes and 16 seconds in. At this point in the piece, the piano gets very agitated in the left hand, very low, rumbly bass hand, which makes sense because the lyrics at this point are "Shivers in the dark trees." And if my light show will cooperate with me, I feel like the "Shivers in the dark trees," little rustly action, it's minor again, so the orange makes sense. My thoughts are confusing me. This is paired with an increase of the dynamic in the left-hand piano and more agitated rumbly, so the rumbly speeds up just a little bit. You definitely feel like there's something coming up, but you don't know what, and you don't know when it's going to break. In addition, the right hand mimics or echoes the melody and the vocals that say "confusing me," which stresses the agitation of what the singer is trying to convey. Once again, the intensity of the piano ramps up in the left hand rumblies. The text is "My crazy singing here." It's all pitched up half a step, which makes it a little bit more stressful, like it's leading somewhere, but you don't really know where yet. The right hand of the piano also mimics the crazy or the singing here, which once again it's like, what's happening? And then just out of nowhere, when you think everything's going to explode into some sort of like moment, it just goes right back into a major key. Once the vocalist hits "Calling Out of Dreams," the left hand rumblies stop. It brings back the calm, collected, soothing melody from the beginning of the piece, and the piano just kind of takes over from there, and the piece ends. So what's the point? What's the point of text painting? The point is that once you understand what's going on in a piece, you should be able to enjoy it a whole lot more than you would if you're just blindly listening to it. And it's not just something that applies to this piece specifically. You can listen to any sort of musical piece, whether it's classical or pop or metal or some other fourth genre. If you know how to listen, you should be able to enjoy it much more. And that'll do it. Thank you for listening.